Hey traders, this is Mike Sir here. Welcome back to my channel. Now, some of you have been asking me how I look for stock trading opportunities on a daily or weekly basis. Well, I generally have a list of 100 different types of things that I monitor, from stocks, commodities, forex to crypto, and I just generally scroll through them to see if there's any setups. Now, there is one website that I go to quite frequently that helps me screen through thousands of stocks and tell me exactly what stock or sector is hot at the moment. The website is Finviz.com. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a stock screener and a heat map that I use on the site to find the hottest stocks. Also, stick to the end as I'm going to use both features to look for the hottest stocks at this moment. So let's get started. So first off, let me tell you what this Finviz website does. Now, it contains an invaluable number of tools for investors and traders to research, analyze, and visualize market opportunities. Now, one of the main features that I use on the site is the stock screener that helps me filter through thousands of stocks according to my set criteria and help identify a potential trading opportunity. So let me show you how I use that feature. So here's the Finviz.com website. And you basically want to click on here. This is where the stock screener is. And essentially what this does, as I mentioned, is filters through thousands of stocks according to your criteria. And basically it's according to your description, fundamental, and technicals. So I'm just going to go through very, very quickly on some of the filters that I look at. So these are the three major US exchanges that you can filter by. Market cap in terms of big companies, smaller companies, mid-sized companies, earnings date. There is a earnings strategy that I will do in future videos that I will teach you. Target prices, basically analysts' target prices. Index, okay, so this index basically can filter through stocks that trade only in the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones 30. Also, you can filter by dividend yield. And again, in future videos, I'm going to talk about dividend strategies and dividend stocks that you can buy. Average volume is generally the average number of shares that are traded. IPO date is basically stocks that have recently went public. You can filter by sectors. You can see the whole different types of sectors here. Float short, again, I won't go into too much detail here. Basically, float short basically means that the number of shares that are publicly traded, shares that are being held short. Relative volume is essentially trying to measure what typical volume is relative to the current volume relative to the average volume. Shares outstanding, it's the number of shares that are outstanding in a specific company. Industry, again, you can filter by many different types of sectors or industries. Analyst recommendations, I don't really look too much detail here. Current volume is essentially the number of shares that are currently traded. Float, as I mentioned to you, these are the number of shares that are available or that are traded, publicly traded. You can also filter by different countries. So it's not mainly US stocks. You can basically filter through any stocks that are in the world. Option short essentially is any stocks that you can trade options with it, or also can be shortable, because some stocks aren't shortable. And also you can filter by price as well. Now, the fundamental you can filter by is, and again, I won't go into too much detail, but essentially lots of fundamentals, right? Price earnings ratio, PE ratio, price versus cash, earnings per growth, debt equity, right, gross margins. So again, everything that is fundamentals, you can filter by them. You can filter by technicals. So you can filter by performance, how well it's trading, right? Maybe if you're looking at trading it today, well, you only look at filter stocks that are up, trading up today. Any type of moving averages, you can filter by volatility. You can actually filter by the RSI, which I had talked about, right? If you are searching for stocks that you're looking at short, filter by overbought or oversold. And also here, patterns. Again, some of the patterns I kind of mentioned here in terms of triangle patterns, wedge patterns, resistance, support levels. So basically this tool allows you to be able to screen and filter any stock that meets a certain criteria that you're looking for. Before I talk about the other feature that I use on Finviz, Please take a moment to like this video. I would really appreciate your support. The other feature that I use on the site is the heat map. Now, the heat map is essentially a visual representation of the real-time and historical performance of stock market data. Now, how this feature helps me is it visually tells me how a certain stock or a sector or asset class or other stock markets in other countries are performing. So this way I can glance quickly to see what is hot and what is not. Now let me show you how I use this feature. So for the heat map on the Finviz website, all you need to do is click on here, Maps, and essentially it filters it by 4 different criteria. The first one is S&P 500. Basically, this is a list of all the 500 companies that are listed in the S&P 500. And essentially what I kind of want to show you is this. So what does it mean by the big boxes, right? You can see here, this is Microsoft, this is Apple. This means the size of the companies. So the market capitalization of Microsoft and Apple in the technology sector is they are obviously a lot bigger compared to like Adobe or Oracle. So essentially the size of boxes is how big the company is. And I wanted to show you down here. So this is a criteria in terms of the 1-day performance of each of these stocks. So you can see here in bright red is where the stock's down -3%. And then you can see here, not has dark red, -2, -1, 0% is basically not moving up or down. You can see here is where the stock goes up 1%, 2%, and +3%. So the world here, you can filter all the stocks by country. You can see here China, right? You can see here Japan, United Kingdom, India, Ireland, Canada, Bermuda, Colombia. So essentially gives you a whole list of all the stocks in many various countries or global countries around the world. Full here, essentially, it gives you a list of all the stocks that are listed in the global markets according to sector. So you can see here, technology is mainly dominated by the US companies, but let's just say if you go into, for example, like you can see here, consumer cyclical, the biggest one is Amazon, but second one is Alibaba in China. And here you can see exchange traded funds, people who trade mainly sectors. You can see all the ETFs based on their performance. So also you can see here, you can look to see how each stock or each sector is performing. A 1-day performance, a 1-week performance, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and then you can do year comparison. So what this allows me to do is, let's just say I'm going back to the S&P 500 here. And all these rankings are essentially, if for the free version, it's 3 to 4 minutes delayed. But if you purchase a paid subscription, basically these are ranked in real time. So if you are looking to see or trading a specific sector on a particular day, you want to see, hey, how is the technology sector doing? So you can see here, it's green. Okay, so it gives you confidence that if you are looking or see a setup that you're looking to buy, then it gives you a confidence that the entire sector is green on that day. Or, for example, if let's just say you are looking to buy companies in the consumer cyclical or internet retail, and you see that actually that day is red. So, and you were looking to buy a certain stock in that area, so you may be a little bit more careful, right? Because the entire sector is down on that particular day. So let me show you how I utilize those 2 features to find the hottest stocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to here, screener here. And again, I just want to make clear that in terms of my criteria, it may be different compared to yours. This is, again, just only my personal preference. So for exchanges, let's just say, for example, I'm open to any stocks that are traded on these 3 major US exchanges, but I'm looking to trade larger companies. All right. And then I'm looking to trade average volume. I want stocks that are quite liquid, so over 1 million. And let's just say I'm open to any sector. And current volume, again, like shares or companies that are traded over 1 million, and I like to trade US stocks. Again, I'm not going to filter by fundamental, but let's do technical. Now, I like There's a strategy that I will teach you guys in future videos of how to play new highs. So let's just say we go through that. New highs here, you can see it has helped me filter through, but still quite a lot. So what we can do is can go back to descriptive here, and let's just say I usually like to play larger price stocks. So let's say 50 to 100. All right. Okay, so now we have a list of 16 stocks to consider in all respective sectors. Okay, so I'm just going to categorize this. So we have many different sectors: basic materials, consumer cyclical, consumer defense, financial, healthcare, industrial, real estate, technology. So what I'm essentially going to do is I'm going to make a note of these sectors, and then we'll make a note of all the stocks here. And essentially what I do is just go to the maps here, okay, and see how the performance is for their sector. And obviously I'm not going to day trade here. So let's just say I'm looking for a short-term swing trade. So again, I'm not going to go through each individual stock, but what I essentially look here is I want to see how, if I'm looking to buy a stock that is making new 52-week highs, I need to know that the entire sector is also very, very hot. So that's why, again, if I look into financial, well, okay, this is a kind of a red flag here, right? Financial services is red. So I got to be careful of buying those companies in the financial service sector. If the whole sector is down, then it might not allow that stock that's making new 52-week highs to go even higher. So I have to be careful of that. You can see here technology is quite strong. There was some consumer cyclical. Yes, consumer cyclical here. Okay, so I have to be a little bit careful. Amazon's down. And then I think the other one I was looking at is healthcare, right? So you can see healthcare here, specifically what aspect? Well, this one is the drug manufacturer. So again, I want to know essentially if the sector is strong so that I'll be able to buy these stocks at 52-week highs. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to watch other videos where I show you all the tools that I use on a daily basis to analyze the financial markets, please click on the left for more videos and click on the right for the full playlist. I'll see you in the next video.